Here we go. The after show, but later, episode number 159. It's your boys, D and El Cucuy, the only unofficial Covino and Rich after show. I feel like we can't get this show started if we don't just
No.
jump into there's the big purple elephant. Should we just talk about phase 3?
Yeah, bro. Jump into the deep end of the pool.
All right, where do you want to start with it? Part phase 3, part A, part B, part C, part psychological fucking
Abuse, right? She wants to tear him down
ab-
to
abuse. Yeah,
that's abuse.
I was gonna
Listen,
say
man.
defamation.
Yeah, no, that you know what? When they first started talking about it, and she was emphasizing, remember, I think it was Behind the Velvet Rope, and she was emphasizing her that she's she's in whatever she's doing, social worker, and she has a degree and this and that and the other. I would have to guess, and you can quote me if I'm wrong, guy. You work at the college, so maybe I'm wrong, and you'll probably know this because I know what department you worked at. Doesn't her field of work require some psychology classes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right?
She's got a graduate degree in it.
Maybe a couple communication classes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I don't know. The message is in the receiver. That at least that's what I learned in interpersonal communication. So maybe I received the message wrong. However, Behind the Velvet Rope, it seemed like she wanted us to think she was super smart and intelligent. Now, maybe that was just a vibe I caught, but that's what I felt like when she was explaining certain things. That's the drift I got. With that being said, if she is super intelligent, which I believe she is, I'm confused on why she would want to emotionally tear this guy down who's had bully problems and trying to fit in problems his whole life until the last maybe 10 or 15 years. Why would she want to take him back to those moments and dig up those old feelings all for a sexual kink? Like, I'm not Judy Mathis or Joe Brown, but I'm not trying to judge, but I don't. That's the part of this whole thing that I really don't understand.
The part that I didn't get is where she's saying her kink. If you guys missed it, part of phase 3 was Spot unveiled a few different sections of phase 3, A, B, C, whatever the fuck, I don't know. But one of them is one of his
Even a D's
wife's
nuts. He went ABCD's nuts.
one of his wife's kinks is to fucking basically
Cuck.
put him down and degrade him and shit and call him a piece of shit, basically. And the thing that I found most interesting is that somebody had mentioned I think it was Covino who was like, well, if this is her kink, why doesn't she do this shit to other dudes that she's with, right? And fucking leave Spot out of it, right? And
Right.
then she jumped in on the in-show chat because she was right there. Every other comment was Kristen this week.
I know, man.
So she jumped in and she was like, no, she said it only works with Spot. So this
Are they
kink only turns her on if she's fucking putting down Spot and talking shit to him. So it doesn't work if there's any other dude she's hooking up with. This fucking whoever. It only works with Spot, which makes me fucking feel some type of way because, like you were talking about, we know the Jufro fucking Walmart sneakers, fucking, we know all that.
tuba player? I mean, and he graduated. I don't think it's healthy in a time where we focus largely on mental health to drag up those old feelings potentially. I think that's when you start to play with fire. But that's my opinion, and it's not my relationship, and I don't got a banger. Spot does, and so that's between him and her. But from the outside looking in, I don't know if she's going to hear this or not, or Spot listens, or I don't know. But I just don't understand how this could be a good thing.
The part, you know what? I think even if Spot was all for it, I would have been like, this still doesn't sound like a great idea, But the fact that Spot was like, he's like, I even told her I'm gonna have to process this and see if it's something I can get used to and all this shit.
That's already
That
it's a challenge mentally right there. He just told you.
yeah. So I know. I mean, I know Spot can be sensitive. Covino came out and said
Sensitive.
Covino was like,
Hold on, let's break this down for the lames. She wants to punk him, bully him, and like degrade him emotionally, and then fuck him when she's done.
yeah.
That's what she wants to do. And again, I don't want to get in the middle of it. I'm having a problem processing and understanding how any good, except for the nut afterwards, can come out of that.
Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, I don't know, Doug. I don't know, because the fact that Spot was even saying, like she came home, and this is another thing. This is another thing that she sounded pissed because he had
Oh,
his date over or whatever,
why didn't she go get a motel
and she
and
was
make
like,
Spot pay for it? Right? They got scratch.
no,
Go to the fucking Days Inn for the night.
and no, and that's the thing, is that they try to make it like, oh, well, she was in the garage in her fucking car all night. Dog, she can't pay fucking $20 for an Uber to go, like you mentioned, to a hotel. Fuck it, go kick it for the night,
Right?
right?
She can go squeeze
Fucking
one out to porn.
yeah, fucking go, and then
I
worry about the car in the morning, right? But
don't
no,
even
but she
I don't even
she
feel guilty saying that about those two.
no, but look it, but she wanted to sit there in the fucking car all
And
night.
pout and be pissy.
Yeah, and then
And
come
and
back and make
and
a
I
big ass scene about it. When wasn't that part of like phase one and shit? Is like, oh, we're not gonna interfere in anybody's, and if anybody's feeling uncomfortable, we're gonna let them know, and all the stupid shit they were
she didn't
saying.
let nobody know. She,
So,
you know who she let know? The cameras on behind the velvet rope. But that's like when it's lights, camera, action, Jackson, that ain't how it went.
mhm.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
no,
saying, bro. I told you, and we won't get into it too much in detail, but I told you in private some of my feelings, and I just when they announced this, I didn't have a good feeling about it. Let's just say that. And I'm on record D with you, in private. And we like Spot. We love Spot. He's a part of the show, so I don't want to be saying too much, you know what I'm saying? But I don't see how it's healthy. Um, they tried to say all the right stuff when it first happened, and now obviously if she was furious and she punched him in the chest, that's not healthy, man. I
well,
can't.
I thought the dumbest fucking part was when Spot was gonna pick up the house.
He's the next
Uh,
Blueface and Christian Rock.
well, Spot said he was gonna pick up the house because he was gonna have a date coming over, right? And
She gonna
Kristen
lose.
got
She gonna lose a tooth and replace it with a spot tooth
Kristen got fucking pissed because
and
she
get
was
eight
like,
spot tattoo, eight beards of Spot's beards tattooed on her.
uh,
Instead of eye drops, she's gonna get a tattoo of Spot's beard.
I mean, it's gonna have to happen, I think. But yeah, but anyway, I just thought she made the biggest deal. I mean, I just think because think about it, for a while she was having her fun,
Instead
and
of three dots, bro, she'll just have three spot beards.
did you get them all out?
Nah, probably not.
Is that Spot had just mentioned that he was having a fucking whack few months or whatever, right? Of
Right.
this, or a couple of months or whatever. And she's been on one, right? She's been fucking banging dudes and chicks and fucking
Having puss
everything.
parties.
Yeah, right. And fucking Spot is all excited because he's like, oh, cool. I'm gonna have this fucking date for the first time in months or whatever.
Since I had the other kind of date.
And then he starts picking up the house, and she starts giving him a hard time. Oh,
Right.
you can't pick up the house for me, but you're gonna pick it up for your date. And I think Covino and Rich made a good point, because they were like, well, if you're gonna have company, aren't you gonna fucking pick up, even if like
Of
it's your brother
course.
coming by or who the fuck ever?
I don't want the pizza man to look in and see a bunch of shit everywhere.
Exactly. So why the fuck? So she would rather leave the house a fucking mess with company to come over.
Because you know
Um,
what, bro? Because you know what? That looks bad on her too. Because you motherfuckers live together. So if he's a slob and you're not picking up his mess, you're a slob too.
well, he said that.
Straight
Spot
out.
said that. He was like, well, because she was bitching, I guess, about him being dirty and messy or some shit. And he was like, well,
They're
she
both being dirty and messy right now, bro.
100%. But he was like, she accumulates a lot of shit too, and but then there she was, Doug. And honestly, I'm like, I fucking I don't want to. I mean, this is just my honest opinion, right? And that's why we're here.
Right.
But
No, fucking lie to me,
I
please.
I fucking Doug. I was just saying, I was trying to think, like, do I leave this in? Do I cut it out? But Doug, I can't fucking stand the fact that she was on the in-show chat going back and forth, and her 2 cents. And then you could see the fucking people that were swinging from her nuts, like, you go, girl, you fucking, like some of the females in the fucking on the Carl's page or whatever. They're like, oh, you do you, Kristen, empowerment. Oh, girl power, all this stupid shit. And
And,
then,
and, and I'm not knocking none of that, but they
but
are
every,
attention vampires.
but every other fucking comment was her. It was like fucking Mauser, Kristen,
Why don't those two
fucking
fuckers get their own talk show?
it was like,
Right? I mean, they got fucking have kids. They said there's Covino and Rich. Why don't they have fucking Spot and Kristen fucking love talk? I don't know.
yeah, they could do like a spin-off behind the Velvet
Yeah,
Rope series, right?
spin off over onto a different show. Because you know what, Spot, we love you. I respect what you're doing. Do what you got to do. Really, really not against any of that. Same with Kristen. She seems like a driven lady. But with that being said, I do what you got to do. But D, I told you about this today or earlier when we talked. You want to be like, yeah, man, dude, last night I was the shit. Me and the old lady, woo, I still got it. Cool.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at you, bro. Like if
but vague,
we
right?
vague. I don't want to know detail. I don't want to hear you say I tied her up like a pretzel and her leg was wrapped around her head and she squirted 19 times. Like, bro, that's too much for me. I don't need to know all the details. And so phase 3 went on for a long time of the show, and it's their show. They can do what they want. Spotty, I respect you. Do what you got to do. Dudes, chicks, both at the same time. I don't know, bro. Eat your ass, do cocaine. I don't care. None of that's my business. But you open yourself up when you tell everyone your business, and I just don't need to know all of it. You want to share a little bit, like, I'm good, but good God, dude, I don't need to know all that. I don't need to know you got punched in the chest, Blueface. I'm just saying. Is she gonna go on TikTok rant next? I don't need to know all that, bro.
Yeah, Doug, that fucking it just threw me back to the dirty peanut butter knives. Remember when he was like fucking pissed and he said he grabbed Kristen by the shirt and he was like showing her the peanut butter knife, like, and now she's over here punching him. I'm like, fuck, dog. Like,
Yeah,
they're
because he was
fucking,
aggressive in the past, wasn't he?
yeah. And it sounds like he's calmed down a little bit. Like he's very spiteful and sarcastic and shit. But it sounds like this, dog, from her bitching about the fucking cleaning the house to I had to sleep in the fucking car or whatever the fuck she was saying, and to punching him in the chest and shit, to fucking wanting to talk shit to him. I was like, fuck, all kinds of shit felt like it came out in one night.
No, for sure, bro. Like, I don't know. Again, it just seems like they're getting a little carried away. And I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like they're rapidly expanding fast. I mean, you heard on the Friday show. I mean, I don't mean to put all this shit out there, but him and Perico became friends, even if it was just for a little bit. They became friends, and I feel like this is their theme song. You ready?
Mhm. I agree.
Once they started, they're just on a roll. Someone let
And
the dogs out.
no, that's the thing, Doug, is that's like the craziest shit. And I feel like
I'm
when
worried for him. I'm kind of worried, to
when
be honest.
when Rich brought it up, I was like, fucking Rich. I feel like he always likes to bring up like kind of like he likes to bring up Covino's divorce, right? And he
He
likes to bring up
does.
Spot being an orphan. And so he brought
Well,
this
yeah,
up.
I didn't like that. I didn't like
So
that.
but I did when I first heard it, I was like, because it does bother me because I feel like I don't know what it is about Rich, but like he brings up Covino's divorce on Fox Sports a lot, right? Where I'm like, okay, if you want to bring it up, like
There's no class doing that.
save it more for the fucking the Carls, right? Not for the fucking national
Not for
syndicated
the
fucking
Farrells.
terrestrial radio, right?
Yeah.
And when it comes to like, I feel like that kind of shit, and then when he calls him like, oh, he brings up Spot being an orphan, I feel like it is a good question because you think, wait, if fucking Spot's mom was still here, would he be doing this shit? I don't know. But I feel like Rich brings it up a lot and puts it in Spot's head, even if it wasn't.
But
Because
look at he brought everything up though. He said, I don't care what Greg or Marianne think. I'm still gonna live my life. You can do whatever you want because your parents are dead. Right?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
he just like, dude, it's like they're like a cover up. Just why do we have to act like you have to give a justification for why Spot's doing what he's doing?
Mhm. And where fuck, I lost my train of thought.
Well, I don't need
But
justification. I just don't need details either.
yeah, no, fuck, what was it?
Rich Davis.
No, but just because, oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say is even if it was in like Spot's subconscious about, okay, his dad hasn't been alive since he was like 6, his fucking mom, passed away like 4 years ago or whatever it was at this point, and even if it was in his subconscious, Rich is like planting the seed, like making it at the forefront of his fucking brain, like now
Right.
I'm thinking, fuck, am I doing all these decisions because,
Fucking brainwasher. He's brainwashing Spot.
I
This is
just,
why you do what you do. Follow my finger. Tick tock, tick tock.
yeah.
Fuck, he's trying to hypnotize him.
And, I can't get over like Covino is making fun of Rich this week because he was like, he's you get so fucking giddy when Spot starts to talk about this shit. And Rich does take like an extra, like he gets an extra joy out of it. And I don't know if it's because like he's living through Spot, like, oh, I wish I could do some crazy shit.
I had a buddy that used to say that. I'm married. I gotta live through you.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't know if it's that or is it fuck, I had part B and I forgot it. Oh well, whatever. Um but yeah, but I just think about it and I'm like, is Rich living through Spot? And he's just like, fuck, Spot single, or oh yeah, here's my other point. Or is it because it's so fucking weird? Like, I kind of feel like Spot's always been the outcast, right? Between Covino, Rich, and Spot. Covino and Rich have always been like the normal dudes, whatever, fucking kind of jockey, fucking whatever, bachelor dudes. And Spot was their little buddy, right? He was the fucking dorky one with the Jufro and the fucking Kmart blue light special sneakers, right? Now he kind of came into his own for a little bit. He was married, cool.
He's
And
yoked
I feel like he was more
in shape.
normal and average. But then when you throw all of this shit out there,
The
it makes
beard.
him a fucking outcast again.
No,
So
of course.
I think that fucking turns Rich on, like, fuck yeah, like now he's a fucking weirdo, when before he was like becoming like more average.
Well,
He
he
went
grew
from like
up. He became
super,
the bearded wick, and he became like he had his fucking beard, and he would stroke it, and he had his little part, and he got
yeah.
a new identity.
And I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot. And to me, I mean, the first phase, oh, that was something else that Rich had mentioned because Spot was talking about one of these shows like Love is Blind or fucking whatever, Fuck Island 12 or whatever the fuck they're watching these days.
Right.
Rich had told Spot because Spot was like, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of fucking hot ass dudes on there, and there's a fucking lot of fucking bad chicks or whatever." And Rich, Rich was like, "Spot." He's like, "How did this shit just fucking turn from you watched last season and you were like, oh, there's some badass bitches on here, oh, there's some handsome dudes, to now it's like, oh, I want to fuck these dudes, like how do you go so extreme from even one season to the next? And I don't like, to me, I don't fucking know either. It's crazy to me.
And you know what? And there was something else that they said that Kristen had said that Spot hooks up with energy vampires. Did you hear that?
I didn't get that. I heard it, but I didn't understand what you meant.
Well, they suck your energy. Like it sucks your energy out of you. You know what I mean? Like they demand a lot. They're demanding and they suck a lot of energy out of you.
But
At least
what does that mean? Is, I mean, I get that, but what does that mean? Like, so after Spot's with them, he's like very like, thanks for noticing, like very,
I don't know.
or because what does that mean? I mean,
I just
if
felt
they
it was.
if they
I felt
demand a lot of attention, that's one thing. But is she saying that because she said vampire, they're draining it, they're sucking it from him? Afterward, is he like fucking can't even get up
I
out
took
of
it
his?
as they just toss them to the side when they're done.
Oh,
But I feel like she's gonna do the same shit. Like I
well,
don't know, man. She again, she's the psychology major. She's the one, with the degree, not me. You know what I mean? I didn't even finish community college, but it was just ironic when I heard that because I was like, well, don't you think, at least to me from the outside looking in, she's the energy vampire in his life,
Mhm.
especially after that big old fucking furious tantrum she threw.
Yeah.
That sucked a lot of energy. I mean, I don't know if she looks in the mirror or whatnot, but that had to suck a lot of energy, punching him in the chest and saying all kind of messed up stuff. And then the other thing I was gonna say is those two better be careful, bro, because they're a few hookups away from Maury Povich, Jenny Jones, Ricky Lake, Jerry Springer, and Steve Wilkos. I'm just saying.
That was a lot of fucking talk shows right there, but
Well, that's how close they are.
yeah.
They're not in the close to Steve Harvey yet. Steve ain't gonna have him on the feud.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Doug, and then one thing that made me laugh was Rich. Rich was like, because people kept asking, oh, how often are you guys getting tested for fucking STDs and shit? And Rich was like, why do people keep asking? He's like, when we were single, people didn't ask us. I'm like, Rich, you weren't fucking hooking up with a dude and eating his fucking ass and then fucking some chick and then the next day fucking like and Rich can try to act like he's Mr. Cool Guy and he was having a million hookups a fucking night, but the kind of shit that Spot and Kristen are doing, and the fact that they both have multiple partners, fucking multiple times a week, that is, you can't even compare that to fucking Rich was dating a chick and then maybe he hooked up with this other chick
No,
fucking randomly. And you know what I'm saying? They're fucking having fucking 12 sums basically like multiple times a week.
there's
So how
cucks. Has Rich ever been a cuck?
exactly? And Rich is trying to be like, oh well, no, they never asked us. We were fucking getting a lot of ass, but fuck it. They're
No,
doing
we did though. We heard all the stories back in the day. We heard a lot of Rich's stories back in the day. I mean, we know about the couch and the blue jazz mug.
yeah.
Fuck, those are all time classics right there.
But I think about it and I'm like, again, I feel like Rich is trying to insert himself into like, oh well, fuck it. I was just as devious as fucking Spot or whatever. And I'm like, the shit that him and his wife are doing are ain't none of them ever fucking fucked with shit like that.
No, you're right. I agree with you on that.
So I don't know, but I don't know. More phase three or what are you
I'm
looking at?
done. Spot again, support you, love you, man. Do your thing. I root for you, whichever way you want to go. And even if you want to go always, I don't care. I'm there for you. I'm good. I root for you, but I just please cut back on all the extra details. Like I don't need to know that you guys are gonna double penetrate and the squirting part was cool. Get a waterproof mattress cover. They got them at Walmart. They're about 15 bucks. It'll save your mattress. But I just don't need to know the extra details.
I gotta ask, there was a weird stance that Rich took on
The mound when he was in softball.
no, on fucking Tom Brady's supposed new chick. Did you
Okay.
hear that
No,
conversation?
I missed that one.
Okay, well, it was like Covino came in and he was like, "Oh yeah, there's like news about Tom Brady might have a new chick or whatever." And Rich just took like I don't know if Rich was like I don't know how to read it because it sounds like it could be like he doesn't want it to be true type of thing because he kept like, well, how many sources do you have on that? And Cavino was like, I don't know. It's in my fucking algorithm. I'm seeing it on social media, on TikTok, whatever. And
Right.
Rich is like, well, I'm looking it up and I can only see one source and whatever. And I'm like, Rich sounded like he didn't want it to be true for whatever reason. And I'm like,
Who
is it because
cares?
this new chick is bad and Rich is jealous? Or what the fuck? I'm like, I don't give a fuck, Rich. You're not Tom Brady. Even if you're like, oh, I'm more handsome than him, still you're not fucking Tom Brady. So if
Right.
Rich is like, oh well, if I was single, I could pull bitches. Yeah, you could, but I'm like, fucking, you're not Tom Brady. And so I don't know if there was a jealousy to him where Covino was like, what the fuck are you getting so weird about? He was like, I'm just bringing up the fucking story, and you're making it like, oh no, there has to be credible sources and all this shit. You're like, since when? There's always fucking rumors about, oh, fucking Kylie Jenner's fucking with this person and whoever the fuck is with this person. They're fucking rumors. And there's always, like Camino said, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? If there's these rumors and shit going on, they probably are fucking dating. And Rich came with the fucking, oh, he's 46 and he has a family. He has kids and shit. And
They're not together no more, bro.
and Covino goes, so because he fucking has kids, he's not gonna want to fucking hook up with bitches and shit. He's freshly new out of a marriage.
And
You
he's
think?
Tom Brady.
And then Rich was like, no, he's probably not like that. He's got a busy career or some shit. And I'm like, Doug, I'm like, so you're saying
Bro,
all
he
these
was
fucking
dating her when he was fucking had that other chick pregnant. What do you mean he's not like that?
yeah,
You don't remember how that all went down when he met Giselle or what?
I guess not, dog. I fucking I don't know.
Why does he care where Tom Brady swangs his wang?
I don't know. That's what made it weird for me to listen to. I was just like, I don't fucking get it.
You know what? Though half the time I don't get shit he does.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when he went in there to pee in that tent, did he go in Rich Davis and come out Dickie Doo?
He might have, but I think it was actually Covino that peed in that tent.
Oh, Rich didn't pee in it too?
I don't think
I
so.
just assumed. All right.
What? No. Let me see. Go ahead.
Bro, I was gonna tell you, I was listening to the replay of our show, and we were talking about Casey Anthony and how she looked. Bro, I watched it again,
Yeah.
and she looks like Bruce Jenner before got transitioned to Caitlyn. I'm just saying it. Good God, she's just not cute. Did you finish watching the series, or do you
No,
still think she looks like Jordan?
From what I remember, yeah.
Not even with the Hunter beer goggles on.
I don't remember. I've only seen, like I said, that first. I've only seen that first like few minutes of that first episode, but I completely forgot about it until you brought it up right now.
I watched it again. I had to watch the third episode.
You watched it again.
I had to. I listened to our thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back and watch this shit again. I want to make sure that that I still stand firm on what I said on that episode. And man, those mannerisms, and she looks like she's a bare knuckle backyard fighter. I don't know.
Well, actually, there's some that are pretty bad though.
Bare knuckle backyard fighters.
Yeah, well, not backyard, but bare knuckle.
But she got a face like Huckleberry Hound. I don't know.
All right, I'm not gonna continue with my opinion because I have to watch.
Fucking snout and shit. I'm just saying, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, let me see.
Sorry.
All right. Well, they did have a conversation this week about sending back drinks as far as if you're not satisfied, are you gonna mention it? Are you gonna fucking send it back? Are you gonna just suck it up and drink it? How are you gonna do it? I don't think I've ever sent back a drink. No. So I don't know.
No, I'm not. Oh, sorry, that was my mom, bro. I'm not gonna be able to take her call right now. Hold on. Let me throw it. She's gonna call back. I already know she rocks. You there?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. No, I'm not sending a drink back because I've worked, anyone who works in the fast food or the restaurant industry or whatnot, that every time you do that, you're playing with fire, depending on who you're sending it back to.
Yeah.
And so if I'm not even gonna request another one. Usually if I got a complaint, I'm gonna complain at the end. So they can't bring me no fucked up food or drinks or nothing like that. And I don't usually complain to get money off or free stuff anyways. I just complain kind of to let them know. So hopefully the next person has better service.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to give me something at the end, that's cool. But no, I don't send nothing back. And I don't get down like that. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get my shit fucked with.
I don't think I've ever sent one back. Even if, because Rich, I think it was Rich, or it may have been Covino. I don't know. But one of them was like, oh, well, I'm not a fucking 22-year-old kid anymore trying to get fucked up. So I want my drink to taste good. So if it's super strong, I'm not gonna like it or whatever. I'm like, I don't know. To me, I'm like, is it that fucking big of a deal to just fucking drink it? I don't know.
August is, she's picky. August is picky. But there's times that, and she's not she don't drink a lot of alcohol, but even when she gets a hard, stiff drink, she just deals with it. Takes her a little bit longer. She lets the ice melt with it to kind of water it down. They all come with ice. If you just chill out a little bit, it'll water itself down.
Yeah, no,
I'm not sending it back, dude.
No, I'm not. I'll just fucking drink it.
I'm
Yeah.
not sending food back. I'm not sending nothing back because, like I said, I know better. For me, if it was bunk, I'm just not gonna order it next time. You know what I mean? And like I said at the end, I'm like, hey man, you know what? If they say, oh what, because they come to the table, right? Like that's where you got to use your game. You got to be smart because if you don't eat something, if you order an appetizer, right? Let's say you get some artichoke spinach dip and you take like 3 or 4 chips worth, right? And there's a big ass fucking circle of the shit and you
Mm-hmm.
only got a little corner carved out. They're going to ask you what was wrong. Well, you didn't like your artichoke spinach dip, right? Don't they ask you every single time?
Yeah.
Let them do the speaking. Yeah, you know what, man? To be honest, it was cold in the middle. And no, I didn't like it. That stuff wasn't good.
Yeah.
Then you just be honest like that. But they're asking you a question, you're responding instead of looking like you're out to get free shit. Because when you're
Oh,
looking
you
like,
know what? I'm glad you said that because that's one of the things that Covino had said is that he was waiting for because Covino was like, I've been a bartender
oh, he sent
before.
it back.
No, no, no. I think he was asking about if you should send it back.
Mm-mm.
But I don't think he did because he said that he drank it, but he was waiting for the dude who made it to be like, hey, so how was that? Because
Right.
usually bartenders take a pride in it, right? Like,
They
hey,
do.
so was that fucking good or whatever? So Cavino said that's what he was waiting for, so he could throw him with the, actually it wasn't the fucking best or whatever, And he
Jet's
said that
brother.
the dude never fucking did it. He never hit him with the, hey, so how was it, or whatever. So Cavino said he was just like every time the dude would come over, he's like all like ready to tell him, and the dude never fucking. Maybe the dude knows that it fucking tastes like shit. I don't know.
But you know what, though? A good bartender, if they're smart and they're playing for tips, they're going to ask you before they pour it, how do you like it? How you like your drinks? You like them strong?
Yeah,
They're going to ask you, I have a heavy hand, right? I mean, we've heard that. So the good bartender should say that, you know what I mean? Because you're right. I agree with Cavino. I don't want a drink that I don't like. He's right. We're too old for that shit. It's like that falls in line with my other theory. It's get your own blunt, right? I don't need to pass you my blunt. We're grown men. It's legal in like most states. Get your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not passing you a cigarette if I smoked either. So I'm with Cavino on that. That I want what I want and I like what I like, and I don't want a bunk drink. I want it to taste right. But with that being said, I think it's up to the bartender to ask you how you like your drink. And because that's the way, if they gauge what they need to do to make you happy, that's going to probably result in a larger tip for them in the end.
yeah, no, for sure. They did have a conversation about going back. If you could go back to basically one moment in time,
Phase Z?
yeah. Are you going to something like historical? Like fucking you gonna be there to fucking on the
No.
bay of the beach when fucking Jesus is walking on water?
Nope.
Or are you gonna fucking be like
I got it. I already got it.
at the hospital when you're fucking being born? Or where are you
Nope.
going back?
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be like Biff, and I'm still in the almanac. I'm just saying. And Back to the Future,
Mhm.
I'm still in the almanac. I want to go back in time, steal me an almanac, come back, not treat people fucked up like Biff did, but get rich. I want the almanac.
Okay, what if you couldn't, but you could just be a fly on the wall?
What do you mean?
If you could go back into one of these events, but be a fly on the wall. Basically, you're there as like a hologram, right? You're there, you're not
Okay.
fucking, you can't change anything. Maybe you could talk to people, but it's not going to change anything. Just really be a fly on the wall and see the experiences as happening. See fucking sit
Really?
next to fucking
We're going there?
Abe Lincoln getting shot in the head or some shit.
Care about that? If we're playing that game, and that's the question you're asking me, I want to be I want to go back to the Big Bang, to Genesis 1-1, and on the first day, I want to go back to one of those moments. If that's the case, I want to go back to something like that. Like that would be ultimate. And you want to start talking minor league shit. Now you're talking Roswell and Abe Lincoln, and I don't care about Abe Lincoln. I mean, he didn't do nothing for me. The only way I know he's on the $5 bill. You know what I mean? Like I'm good. But maybe I want to go to the creation. I want to go to point A where it all started. Genesis 1-1.
I feel like I would do something. I think I don't know if I'm doing something with my family or what I'm doing, but what I'm definitely not doing, like you mentioned, you're like, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about Lincoln, right? there was people, Doug, there was some dumb ass people in the fucking chat who were like, I'd go back fucking oh, I think they did mention you could change shit because they were saying like I would stop fucking Lincoln from getting shot in the head or some shit. I'm like, Doug, for real, you can be fucking selfish. You could like were you
Why don't you just stop
want
racism altogether if you're going to do something like that?
yeah, like they're saying it's the one thing that you could do that were fucking only like you, right? So like you said, I'm gonna go back to the Big Bang, or I'm gonna do something where I fucking so you're gonna go and be fucking Mr. fucking superhero and save fucking Lincoln. Like, who gives a fuck, dog? What if you meet Lincoln, you're there at the fucking movie, and he's a fucking dickhead, and you're like, I don't even like this motherfucker. Oh,
Right.
well, I'm already here. Now what are you gonna do? You
Well,
know?
and not only that, bro. Think about it. Like they lied to us. They lied to us about our history. They tell us the history they want us to know from day one.
Exactly.
Even to make a statement like that, bro. Like you don't get it. Whoever said that don't get it. They don't understand how the shit
Oh,
works.
it wasn't one person. There was a lot of those
Then they
dumbass
all don't
fucking
get it. You can quote me on that. They were
yeah.
snarls or what?
You know, I'm trying to think of I don't know the route I would take. I don't know if it would be something like personal, family. I don't know if it was like because Doug, like Covino and Rich were saying like if you could prevent something, they're like, oh, if you have a family member that fucking
Prevent. You said be a fly on the wall. So I just want to clarify my statement because being on a fly on the wall would be the creation of everything.
yeah.
Like I don't need to see my dad being born, or like I don't have to see if I'm just a fly on a wall and it's just like to just observe. I don't need to see nothing with my family.
I think I added the fly on the wall now that I'm thinking about it because I
Oh,
remember them saying
well, I am fly.
because I remember maybe that's what it was. I saw the fucking Lokes and I was like, fly on the wall. It has to be a fly on the wall.
Oh, fuck.
But
Better,
no,
hey, better than a fly on a turd,
I because what was it? They
a
mentioned
furry
something.
turd.
Oh yeah. They had conversations about, oh, if your fucking family member died, you can go back and prevent it or some shit or whatever. But I'm like, I don't know, Doug. I'm like I don't know. I'm like, for real, that'd have to
Bro,
be some thought. And people were just jumping on the fucking. I would do this automatically. They already knew they were gonna go save Lincoln or whatever the fuck it was, you know?
here's the thing, bro. I'm no Kristen, but with that being said, everything happens for a reason. I don't want to prevent anything that's happened because there was something to learn from that happening, even if I didn't understand it then, even if I don't understand it now. Things happen for a reason, and you're supposed to learn from them and grow from them. And that's what builds you, right? You're never a finished product until you croak. And whether you understand it or not, when you go through tough and turbulent times, it's building character. It really is. You know what I'm saying? And it's also building life experiences. It's not the ones that we desire, the ones that we chase after, because it's challenging, right? When you go through death and you go through heartache and you go through all that, every day's a challenge and a struggle. And you wake up and you don't know if it's going to get better or not when you're in the middle of it. You know what I mean? But you keep fighting and you keep doing the best you can. And then things get a little better day by day. It's a little better than it was the day before. Like, I don't want to get rid of none of that stuff, man. Like, I can't challenge the creator and why shit happens and happens the way that it does. I mean, that's bigger than us, man. That's bigger than us. And I think that things happen like that to teach us lessons. And we're supposed to learn from even the bad stuff that happens. Just my own opinion.
Agreed. There was so many fucking song references I was gonna try to interject with while you were talking, but I fucking let you have it, so I
Thank
guess
you.
I'll move on.
All right. Move
uh
on.
yeah, let's see. That was oh, I have all right. Doug. So or no, I don't never mind. Let me see.
Uh,
Did you watch Sebastian Maniscalco? I don't know why the fuck I can say that right now. Did you watch Sebastian's new special? Yes or no?
how well you know me? Yes or no?
Oh, you didn't watch it.
Nope.
Okay, well, I watched it. There was a couple of things when I gotta I know oh fuck yeah, I just remembered something else.
Fuck
Uh
yeah.
hey, fuck you, man. Okay. Well, I watched this new special, and before I watched it, I heard Covino and Rich talking about it. Covino said he liked it. he said he didn't love it. Rich said it was all right, but then Rich had a couple of comments where Rich said it looks like he didn't work out the material enough. It looked like there was some like times where he was stumbling over his words, and
Maybe he was fucked up.
no, I was, when I heard this, I was like, Rich is full of shit. This is what I automatically thought, right? Because I was like, typically they record, on average now they're doing 3 or 4 to make one special, right? So
Right.
they're cutting different parts from every, show that they did
Does
to
he wear
make
the
it.
same suit?
Yeah, they fuck, the continuity has to be perfect, because even if like the hair, there's a hair sticking out over here, it better be sticking
A
out
fellow?
in every fucking, yeah, every version of it. So yeah, so when Rich was saying that, I was like, but they record how many fucking, at least now 3 if not more. And but
Yeah,
no,
for
when I
sure.
watched it though, I was like, Rich was right, because there was a lot of the jokes were very fucking generic. Like he had a joke about a kid in his kid's class identifying as a lion or something, and Rich hit the nail on the head with that. He was like, there was really no punchline. He was just like,
Was he born in August?
he I don't get it.
He wasn't a Leo?
Oh no, no. So he goes, Rich was like, there was really no punchline after that. He just kind of said it. And I was like, yeah, and then there was a spot in particular where I remembered
But
where fucking Sebastian said something, and then he kind of like, he did stumble over his words, and I was like, who the fuck produced this shit to where they couldn't cut this shit out and grab like either a better one, or was this all done in 1 or 2 shows and he fucked up both times or something? I don't know, but it was a little clunky, a little too bland. um and I think I compared it to the fucking sophomore slump. And even though this is like his 5th special or whatever, a lot of times in music you have bands come out like, right, they've been working for 15 years on an album, and they come out with this album and people love it, right?
right.
And then the record companies are like, okay, let's ride that fucking hype, and let's get another fucking album out as quickly as we can to ride the fucking hype from the first album. That's what I feel like this special was. Is
So
that, go ahead.
that brings to a good question. It's kind of off topics, but it's not, because Avatar took so long. Will it live up to the first hype?
I think it might. I think it might. Because if they would have had it the next year,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it would have been a shit show. Even 2 years later. But the fact that, how many years ago is it already? 10 years, maybe?
Yeah, but you got, let me interject.
Okay.
How many more times can it get stolen now versus 10 years ago? How much are movie box office? Are we averaging the same shit? Do movies average the same amount of views? And they might. And I'm not saying they don't. But I mean, what are the sales? I mean, because it's right after COVID. Are we back to pre-COVID numbers, or even COVID numbers? Or there's a
For
lot of
some
analytics.
for something like Avatar, and I mean, I'm ignorant because I haven't seen the first one, but for something like this, I think people would go out to the actual movies to watch it. I don't think this is one that they're gonna watch on their fucking, unless they have a dope ass setup with the fucking
It's
surround
on
sound and
pause
shit.
right now.
You know, I think
It's on
they're gonna
pause
actually
right
go.
now.
What
It's on pause right now.
is that, some
But with
TikTok shit or what?
no fucking code I. But
Oh, okay.
with that being said, though, I read a fun fact today, and the fun fact, they were talking about Black Panther, Wakanda, and a lot of these, even like Top Gun, and a lot of them, like, they have a big ass opening weekend, but they don't sustain it. And back in the day, you could have a big ass opening weekend, and sometimes even have a bigger second or even a third. Like the momentum just builds, and it almost seems like what I took that as, and you can agree or disagree, but it's almost like having songs in your intro for sitcoms. The attention span with TikTok, and are people going to go see it? And when the momentum builds, is that because people saw it multiple times? How many people like a movie? I know when Return of the Jedi came out, when I was just a little boy, a little whippersnapper, When I was a little whippersnapper and I went and seen Return of the Jedi, I think I seen that shit like 4 times in the theater.
Yeah.
Shit, I saw The Color Purple twice in the
I
theater.
think I saw Superbad more than once in the
So,
theater.
so when's the last time you saw something more than once in the theater?
Oof, maybe since Superbad in like 07.
So some analytics come into question for me. I agree with you. I think maybe even if the movie's better, I
Mm,
don't know if it's going to translate into more box office money generated.
yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
Because they're
fuck,
saying it's already underwhelming. Like they're saying after the first, because they had a soft opening Wednesday, and they're saying they projected like 175 to 200 through the first weekend, and they're thinking it's like 130 to 150. So it's already kind of letting them down. And I guess they said depending on who you ask, it costs 250 to 350 to make it. And that you know what, D, that brings me to my second question. Going off of what I just said, should they be shelling out 250 to 350 to make a fucking movie these days? That's a lot. That's a
yeah.
lot of money.
Yeah, but I mean, with box office and streaming and this and that, I think I don't know. I don't know, but I doubt that if a movie is going to be that big, like a fucking Avatar or like a fucking Transformers or some shit, I feel like they've done the math and shit. They know. I doubt they're gonna fucking come
But
out in the
movies bust.
negative.
Movies, but what that's my point though. You got to crack 350 to break even.
Yeah.
That's a big number. You're talking almost a $500 million to make 150. And I understand the magnitude of everything, because if it does crack off, now you got figurines and fucking Monopoly games and whatever else deals you got out there for licensing, and it's
Mm.
going to mean a lot of money, a lot of views, a lot of downloads, a lot of streams, whatever. But it's I don't know. That was the question. Do you think it's gonna exceed the first one? I think it did a
Um.
couple billion. The first one did a couple billy.
Over how long though? Over the last 10 years, or in the
Probably
first
probably
month,
since
first
probably
year?
since I think total in totality.
So I guess we're gonna have to wait 10 fucking years to
Mm-hmm.
to know. But there was something I wanted to bring up, completely off topic from what you're talking about. But there's somebody that listens to Covino and Rich and also listens to our show by the name of Lisa Paraggio.
Okay.
And
What's up,
fucking
Lisa?
Preston, I had
Pressing these nuts.
linked I had linked the show on the Carl page, and I was like, hey, here's our latest, check it out, whatever, whatever. And then Preston chimed in. Covino and Rich are always yelling at her because she always has her
Oh,
comments.
sorry, Preston.
Well,
My bad.
well, Preston chimed in and she was like, what did she say? She was like, fuck, you know what? Let me find it so I could
Just cut that out.
it was along the lines of, what did you say? I don't even know what you said that was bad.
Pressing these nuts.
Oh no, that's funny. I like it. Um, let me see. She had said, let's see if I can find it pretty quickly. Uh, fuck, I don't want to have to edit, so I'm gonna not, if I can't find it in the next few seconds, I'm gonna fucking.
Bro, I was at the swap meet at 8 a.m. today, bro.
Oh, right here. Oh, fuck. Damn it. Uh, I just found it right now, and then when I went to click on it, it fucking. Oh, right here. Okay, let me. She put serious question.
Okay. To
Um,
us or to Cavino Rich?
to me,
Oh, all
she put
right.
serious question.
Big
You
old
have a
baller.
show. She goes, you have a show about two people. Because I had put like, hey, check out the show or whatever from this week or whatever.
Yeah.
So she put serious question. You have a show about two people. Two people. I don't know why I keep saying people. You have a show about two people. Does it bother you when one of the two isn't even able to recognize who you are?
What?
Because do you remember one time um Cavino said something about Biggie DeLine, and Rich said, "Oh, was that?" Rich said he confused me and Biggie DeLine or some shit.
Okay.
So she's saying that Rich can't even recognize me. So she's like, "Does it bother you or some shit?"
Rich
So,
knows who you are.
so I put, "Nope, I don't give a fuck."
No,
I
why
know
should it?
I know he does, but whatever. And then she put, when I heard that last week, I was heartbroken for you.
Why?
Right? I don't fucking know. And I put thanks. I go, but if I was that insecure,
Heartbroken is a strong word.
yeah, well, she put the heartbroken emoji.
E.
But she put,
Even
or no,
worse.
so I put, if I was that insecure, I wouldn't put myself out there week after week. So don't feel bad for me. Because, and so along that, okay, well, actually, where I was getting to with that was then Lisa Paraggio made her comments because I told you she listens to us and Covino and Rich.
Uh-huh.
She put some of their banter on the after show, but later isn't so much pro the guy who can't pick Daniel Javier Fitz out of a lineup.
There she goes.
So Lisa Paraggio is saying
Shout out
that
Lisa.
our banter isn't pro Rich, right? And then she put, I sometimes wonder what came first, the chicken or the rotten egg. And
Ooh.
so I told her, I was like, our show isn't based, like, if Rich makes a comment, even if he's like he's even said, oh, Daniel Javier Fitz said this, he's a fucking knucklehead, doesn't know shit or whatever, or he says this shit about everybody, right? Whenever
Right.
he disagrees with them. So I told her,
Can't take it personal.
I was like, let me tell you what I said. So I said, never had any ill will towards Rich. I've met him a few times and he's always been very welcoming. We've never changed our tune because of this or that. If you go back and listen to the very beginning episodes, I don't think much has changed on that aspect. I don't agree with them most of the time, but it's never meant to come off vicious. So what I'm saying is, if Rich was even like, because we know Covino shows us love, we know Rich doesn't give a fuck, but he
gives a
doesn't.
little. He gives a
But
little bit.
no, but the thing is, he doesn't mean it in a bad way. He just don't give a fuck about nothing.
He's just Rich Davis.
Exactly. So I'm like, if Rich was even like, that show fucking sucks, that wouldn't influence me to be like, I'm going to talk shit about Rich. We've been doing what we've been doing from the beginning, where the reason why, if people think, I was gonna say Lisa, but if people think we're talking shit, it's
We're
not.
not.
I'm just disagreeing because that's it. And the whole point, when me and Johnny started the show, we would, before we started the show, we would, like, years ago, just fucking bullshit, like talking about this or that. And, if we agreed with Rich, we would say it. And if we disagreed, and it just so happens that I grew up very differently than Rich, right? I fucking have different,
Rich never had Tampico.
and so when I think about that, I'm like, it's just always, I mean, if I'm gonna disagree with them a lot, and that's just what's gonna come out of my mouth. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like, oh, Rich doesn't give a fuck about the show, so let's talk shit about him. No, just like earlier, I forget what I had said, where I was like, he made a good point about I don't know what, and that's just my opinion. So if there's shit that I'm digging, then I'm gonna say it, and if there's shit that I disagree with, I'm gonna fucking say it. So I don't want people to think, oh, I fucking, or even if people like talk shit to us, whatever, like we have our loyal listeners, right? They're not always gonna agree with us.
No.
Like,
and we're not mad at them if they don't.
I think it was Dirk Schatz who hit me up or hit us up on YouTube and was like, you guys got your Canadian heartthrobs all wrong. And I don't know what he was saying or whatever. And I'm like, okay, cool. We said something. He has a different opinion. That doesn't mean I'm going to be like, hey, fuck that guy. I don't want him to listen. I don't give a fuck.
That douchebag.
Exactly. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if he, that's his opinion, right?
He can have his wrong opinion. Covino will tell you.
Fucking
your wrong opinion.
Carl Reinhardt will tell me fucking all the time about shit he disagrees with us and shit and this or that. Hey, but you fucking listen, cool. I dig it. We don't
Shout
have
out Carl Reinhardt.
We don't have a fucking Joe Rogan size fucking audience. So I fucking dig it. If you want to tell us something, cool. It doesn't. I mean, but so for people to think that we're influenced in the fact that, like, I feel like if I was at
genuine, our shit's genuine. Like who we agree with, like. We do primarily agree with Covino, but we can relate to Covino a little bit more.
Exactly. And I've even said, like, where we talk about spot and shit and how, like, he'd get friend zoned and shit and this and this. And I'm like, oh fuck, that was the story of my life when I was younger. And I'm like, and you know, we'll talk about the aspects that we can relate to, and fucking like Rich saying how he can't fucking he'll find like a drawing he did when he was a kid, and it meant the world to him when he was a kid, and
It
he'll
was
be
a
like, ah,
penis.
and he'll fucking throw it away, right? Because he doesn't,
Right. He's
he's not
not that
attached
dude.
to fucking anything. I
No, he's
know
not.
I would probably hang on to it and be like, fuck, like kind of, you know, reminisce about it, whatever.
My first penis.
I might put it in a box or something, you know. That's not Rich Davis. We're just
Me either.
different people. So I just think about it and I'm like,
And I'm like Rich in that aspect.
what,
You
what?
know, I'm the same way. I'm not saving shit. I mean, maybe a one report card here, but
Yeah.
I don't got like all the report cards. I mean, I don't need fucking third grade, fucking third quarter.
I have all of my fucking yearbooks from every grade I've ever been in.
I got Facebook for that. And classmates if you're desperate.
You know, I don't know where they are. I'm pretty sure they're at my mom's house somewhere, but I
But
told
you
one of
know,
my friends from elementary school I would let them know when I found them.
well, you know what I got to say about that is this is to answer that question on why we don't take it personal, because we started this show saying that Rich was talking shit about Covino's failed marriage on Fox Sports. He's talking shit about fucking Spot. Do you think that we take it personal if he talks shit about us? Those
I
are his
know.
homies. He's talking shit about his homies. Like, I'm supposed to get mad and shit. Like, we could barely get him to fucking tune in for all we know. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, I'm going to get mad at Rich. I'm not mad at Rich.
Yeah.
Our
No,
shit's real. If
yeah.
we agree, we agree, because we'll tell you if we agree. There's times we do absolutely agree with Rich. It's not very often, but it does happen.
And
And
and you think about it, like there's aspects of him that like it comes to gambling and shit, that's something that fucking Cavino don't give two fucks about. He's like, fuck that. I work hard for my money. I don't want to waste it. And I could sit there and talk to Rich all day about teaser bets and parlays and this and that. And that's something I could relate to Rich a shit ton on. But it's just like, you know, I don't know. It's just not something that even like you and I talk about very often, you know?
well, because you know what's crazy, and then so you just said how what your stance is on it, and you kind of more aligned with Rich. And for me, I'm kind of in the middle. I can talk with you guys about teaser bets and parlays all day long, but I don't want to lose money like Cavino. So if I go to Vegas, my teaser or my parlay is only going to be like 20 or 50 bucks at the most, probably like a 20, 25 spot. You know what I mean? Like a 2 or 3 way parlay. And I'm just not gambling heavy. I don't
Mm,
know what you gamble, and I'm not asking what you gamble, and I don't know. Well, Rich has said what he's gambled, but I don't do that. I can talk with you, so I'm in the middle. I can talk with you guys about it because I like it too as well, and I like to be able to predict sports and the psychology of sport. But I'm like Cavino, where I don't want to lose a shitload of money, even if I think I'm right. I don't let
mm,
my ego and my arrogance and what I think is my knowledge of sport also get in the way of
your
bad
money.
behavior. So if I'm doing it, it's purely for fun, and it's not about winning or lose. It's about winning or losing, not the amount.
Yeah.
It's just
No,
more
no,
about being right.
no. And for real, and for me, it is, and I bet fucking minimal amounts of money. And but for me, it makes it a little more exciting. To me, that kind
It
of
does.
shit is just like fuck, like you said, like being right. Like the other day I had bet I think it was the Niners plus no minus no, I forget. Whatever it was plus or minus 7, and what they ended up having was 8. So I fucking I just won the bet by them making that one more point. So I was like, fuck yeah. And I had, adjusted and looked at the different lines and shit and I was like, I think this. And then when you do it, it doesn't matter if you have $5 to me or $50 on it. The fact that you're right is like,
That's it.
that's fucking
That's
dope.
it.
You know?
It's all about being right. It's
There
not about
was
the money. And I'll tell you the truth. And so for me, the same shit. When I went to the Raider game in Vegas and we walked from the fucking Luxor to the game, and you can place a bet at the Luxor before you get to the game. And
mhm,
now you have a bet in your pocket and you're at the fucking game, and you're in the best stadium, in my opinion, in the NFL. That's a whole different vibe. Like, it wasn't about the $20 bet. It was about being right, being in the environment, experiencing the moment, and being right. That shit was, but I was wrong. But that shit was great. I mean, that shit was great. That's for me. And again, like I said, it was just a $20 bet.
yeah. And see, and I always have like when it comes to like UFC fighting, I always have like the dumbest logic of all time, but a lot of times it fucking pays out. Like there was on Saturday, it was a UFC fight night. It was the last event of the fucking year. And it goes, there was a Nurmagomedov that wasn't related to Khabib, but I go, this dude's a fucking Russian. And Nurmagomedov over there is like the fucking Garcia, right? It's like everybody fucking has a name over there.
Right.
Well, it was a Nurmagomedov, and he had the Lincoln, right? Fucking beard, the full beard with the no mustache. And anytime you see a
Right.
Russian with the fucking full beard and no mustache,
The
that
vodka gets stuck in the mustache.
that motherfucker is gonna win. So okay,
That
so I'm
should
watching.
that should no, hold on. Wait. Okay. We're talking about the messages in the receiver. So I got a question for you. Are
Yeah,
you here to tell me that if the fighter's Russian and he has a barbon with no bigotes,
most likely
he's
he's
gonna
gonna
win?
win.
And that's how you place your bet?
That one to yeah,
All
I based
right.
that one
Awesome.
most likely. Okay, and if it's maybe it's a Brazilian versus like an American, I'm going, okay, the Brazilian most likely is a Brazilian black belt in jiu-jitsu, right? Or he's a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. I'm like, cool, I'll probably vote on the Brazilian person,
You're
right?
gonna vote? You're gonna vote, bro?
Yeah,
Where do you take the ballot?
I'll vote. Or if it's usually any foreign person versus an American, if it's an American that I'm not too familiar with, I go, us as Americans, we're a little softer. So if you're gonna fucking, you're gonna vote
That's some
versus
cold shit, but you're
it,
right.
right. So if you have the Iranian versus the American, I'm like,
My feet hurt.
exactly. This dude's probably lived a crazier life than fucking the American that was born in Ohio,
It's
right?
cold.
Exactly. So that and then when it comes to females, I've talked about this fucking a
That's
million.
not fair. Where's my certificate or
I've
trophy?
and see, I've talked about it a lot on this show, I know. But when it comes to two female fighters, if I'm not familiar with them, I sometimes I take in that American versus Russian. I take, there's a little shit, right? But hold on. If the chick, I usually go for the uglier one because I feel like the uglier one has had a harder life. She's probably more angry at the prettier one, right? So I feel like she's gonna beat the shit out of the prettier one. Most times that works too. So it's these stupid little things that I like. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. When it comes down to that, you just pick the one that looks more manly.
Not more manly. It could be like there could be two that are like feminine, but this bitch is butt ugly, and then this bitch you're like, oh, what's she doing in fighting? She could be a model. The
I got
model,
20 on Casey Anthony.
exactly right. You're not gonna fucking put 20 on Sarah if she's fighting Casey Anthony, right?
No.
Because you go, Sarah's probably had a more privileged life, probably had a lot more yes men around her, probably, right? But the bitch with the fucking big ass beak and the fucking mole on her eyebrow probably had a tougher life and is probably, so
I heard when she was in jail, they called her Knuckles.
you never know. That's just a little insight into my betting. So
All right. Hey, I'm
anyway,
not knocking it. Makes sense.
anyway,
Any hoots.
anywho, what do you have?
Fucking on Friday, the guys brought up fucking White Lotus and Blockbuster, the Blockbuster show on Netflix. Have you seen either one of them?
Nope.
Really?
No, I haven't.
Why not?
White Lotus, I had never heard about until you mentioned it.
Oh,
You want to hear some crazy shit, dog?
yes.
So last week we were talking about, you mentioned White Lotus, right?
Yes.
And I said my buddy Chris used to like a band called Floating Lotus or Flying Lotus.
Right.
Flying Lotus. And Doug, I hadn't even edited the episode yet. I hadn't fucking nothing. It was just out there in the fucking universe. He fucking texted me like the next day, and he was like, dude, he's like, I heard this song. He's like, there's this band. He's like, I used to dig back in the day, Flying Lotus. He's like, did I ever talk to you about them? And I was like, dog, I just fucking mentioned that shit on the episode I haven't even released yet. So that was some weird shit in the fucking universe where I don't know.
no, that's not weird shit. You know what that's telling you?
What?
Watch fucking White Lotus because it's about shit like that.
Oh, really?
Yes, it fucking is.
That's so fucking
That's
funny.
telling you need to watch White Lotus.
Oh, that's crazy. All
That's what
right.
that kind of shit is. It's about shit like that.
I just thought it was about like some high
No,
class resort.
no, it's about shit that's all tied in, and it is. You're in a resort, but there's different couples, and somehow they're intertwined, and shit happens for a reason. And yes,
Wasn't there one couple where the dude was gonna bang some chick in front of her husband, and the dude was gonna talk shit to the husband? Then the dude comes home, and the wife wants to talk shit to him.
I think so. But it reminds me of something, don't it?
I don't know. You never know. But
I think that was the Steve Zahn because that's what they were talking about. Who's more popular? You heard that one?
oh yeah, I did.
Steve Zahn or Jennifer Coolidge?
Yeah,
I think it was Steve Zahn, wasn't it?
that was more popular.
No, that was watching his wife get banged.
I don't know.
It's in the first season. I know it's in the first season. I haven't watched the whole first season
Oh,
all
I
the
didn't
way
even
yet.
know that happened. I was just joking. I was talking about Spot.
Oh, I
Oh
was gonna say I don't remember that part, but hey, I'll go back and watch it again. That sounds interesting.
no,
But
no,
I don't need the
no.
details.
But no, but I would say Jennifer Coolidge is more recognizable. I don't know if the name is a household name.
The faces. But
Yeah, the face definitely.
Spot does a killer fucking impression.
That was the
Good
best impression
gosh.
I've ever heard him do. And the fact that it's a female is fucking hilarious.
If he could sub out all his nastiness and just like pop in with Jennifer Coolidge impressions, that'd be
Yeah,
cool.
it's almost like I can't even explain it. It's almost like almost Bruce Jenner, where he's like, yeah, almost Caitlyn
Yeah.
Jenner, but just there's something about it where he takes the fucking essence of Jennifer Coolidge.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah. If she croaked, he could be her fucking voiceover.
For the rest of life,
I'm just
definitely.
saying. Yeah, he could do it.
But I don't know if you want to go rapid fire before we bounce, but I think it's about time to wrap this bitch up.
Nah, Tulsa King. Have you seen Tulsa King?
No. Dog,
D.
I don't watch a whole lot of shit, to be
Tulsa
honest.
King. Hey, Tulsa King. Fucking Rambo is back, right? Rambo.
That's what I'm
Sylvester Stallone.
hearing. That's what I'm hearing.
Hey, and he takes over. He gets, I don't know, something happens. He comes home from prison. His team in New York ain't doing so hot, and he ends up in fucking Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he goes and punks this dude that owns a weed club into buying his protection for 20%. And that's really all I need to say because then it just gets trippy after that. But then he's messing with like some she's like I forgot what she is, but she's like a federal worker somehow. She works for like the ATF or some bullshit, and he's stabbing and he met her at the bar and but it's cool. Tulsa King is the shit. I talked about White Lotus. What about fucking Yellowstone? You fuck with Yellowstone yet? Me either. We see eye to eye on that one.
Okay.
And then BMF season 2 is coming out January like 6th, I think.
I've already watched it.
BMF season 2? No, you haven't.
No.
You haven't even seen season 1. What you talking
No,
about?
I haven't.
You know what I've been watching a lot lately?
Huh.
On Pluto TV because I'm too cheap. I canceled my YouTube TV.
Dog, that is the most hood shit you ever said in your whole life.
What's that?
Pluto TV.
Well, fuck it. Hey, you know what? Our buddy's been coming in handy lately, and he's been coming through. So fuck it. I canceled all my cable shit, all my shit. I was like, fuck that. And then the free shit is like Pluto and Tubi. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And Pluto's been coming in. So, anyways, fucking what the fuck was I gonna say? You fucked me up.
You said you were something you've been watching on Pluto TV.
Oh, fucking Three's Company, Mr. Furley and Mr.
Oh,
Roper.
fuck yeah, that's the shit.
You fuck with those or no?
Fuck yeah, I used to fuck with that shit so hard.
Who's your okay? So, question. I got a question. Who's your favorite blonde? Chrissy, Terry, or what was the middle one?
Was there a middle one?
Yeah, there was. It was Terry was the nurse, Chrissy, and then there was another one.
Well, since I don't remember the third one, I'm gonna say the third one's out. I would say Chrissy.
She was the hottest one to you?
I think so.
I like Terry. Terry was my favorite.
Not me. Terry was a little manly to me.
Terry was the
Yeah,
nurse?
Yeah,
Bro, she'd
Just-
fix you if you were hurt.
I guess, but I don't know.
All right.
Um,
Agree to disagree.
no. That actually works out perfect. This is what I would tell my friends when we would have a situation like this in real life. I would
Mike
say,
Sorrentino?
that's why we're fucking homies, right? Because if think about it, if you and your homie are always are into the same type of chick, you're always butting heads, you're always going after the same chick, isn't that just getting in the way of your friendship? If you have different types, right? You could go for the Terry, I could have the Chrissy, and then we'd be cool. We'd be
Right.
homies. We'd still be homies. We could all go out together, right?
We absolutely could.
So that's why I'm looking at it like that's not a problem, and it's not a I agree to disagree. It's just fucking that's why we're friends.
Oh, we can disagree, but yeah, that is why we're friends. But yes, there was Chrissy Noel Snow. There was Cindy Snow. That was the middle one. Cindy
Yeah,
Snow.
you're right.
Cindy Snow. That was Chrissy's cousin. And then there was Terry Alden, who was the nurse.
So did Janice ever get any love?
I don't know. She no, I don't think so.
Janice had that mullet that I think fucking I couldn't get past.
What do you mean you couldn't get past? What's that mean?
She fucking that shit was so unattractive. That
Oh,
mullet
yeah.
she had.
Yeah, no, and if you watch through the years, it's kind of changed up, but yeah, you know.
Okay, so Mrs. Roper or Janet or Janice or whatever her name is.
Janet.
It was Janet. All right.
You're not stabbing Mrs. Roper, are you?
No, that's I just wanted to see what you were saying.
What was Mr. Roper's name again? Henry or whatever his fucking name was. Remember, she used to always fucking have that voice.
Yeah. Fuck. What was it?
Mr. Roper, and then there was Mr. Furley.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mr. Furley, Mr. Roper.
Like my favorite?
Yeah.
Oh, Furley, of course.
Oh yeah, Mr. Furls.
Yeah, Mr. Roper was Doug. It's just like sometimes when they replace somebody, it's just like. And did you hear how they replaced Mr. Roper?
No.
Well, when they were trying to think of a replacement for Mr. Roper, and they were like, we need to get somebody. And they had said, we want like a Don Knotts type, right?
Okay.
And they had a discussion, and then they were like, well, what the fuck is Don Knotts doing now? They're like, let's hit him up. Turned out Don Knotts was fucking right place, right time.
Right.
Then we have fucking Mr. Furley. So they were actually looking for a person like him, and they actually got the fucking dude.
They just snagged him.
How fucking dope is that?
No, that is dope. We got to end our shit on that.
We do. After show, but later, episode number 159. We will see you guys in episode number 160.
To the riches, cause it's all about the paper. Now buckle up your seats and prepare for the journey. Let the music ease your soul, grab a spliff and start burning. Relax with us and take a trip to the heavens. And come and spend a day in the 757.